My name is Taku David, and we are back for another exciting episode of the Young Money Show. Guys, this is one that I've personally been excited for ever since meeting up with Samuel a couple of weeks ago at a summit. He's one guy that I've looked at and said, this is a young man that we need to get on the program to share his thoughts and to share his insights. He's really the blueprint of the type of person we want on the show. Samuel, thank you so much for being on the program.
Thanks a lot, Taku. It's such a pleasure.
For those who don't know Samuel is an upcoming Pan-African entrepreneur. He is the founder of Zimbabwe Z Depositories and the group CEO of the Aura Group, which is a conglomerate of about 12 subsidiaries, right?
Yeah, correct.
Spanning over various
Diverse
industries.
industries from farming, manufacturing, supply chain, mining, agro-processing, across all those industries.
Yeah, so Sam, let's get straight into the crux of the matter.
Okay.
Sam, at 23 years old,
Yeah.
you automated the Zimbabwe Stock Exchange.
Yes.
That's true?
That's correct.
My man, how did you get the audacity? Where did you get, the bravery to conceptualize doing something so big at such a young age?
Okay, so it was a very simple thing at that time, and it just came from asking the simple questions. Rewind back 8 years before, I read business books. I didn't grow up in a rich family by societal standards. In fact, we're poor by societal standards. And I knew I wanted to make money. I knew I wanted to be rich. I just didn't know the process. So I read business books, got information, and one of the things that I took home from those books was to invest on the stock market. So by the time I was 15 years old, I was buying and selling shares on the Zimbabwe Stock Exchange, and I spotted an opportunity there. As I was trading, I asked myself simple questions like, I can get prices of shares in New York and London and China, but Zimbabwe, I can't. What's the problem? Why are we electronic? Why are we dealing in manual shares? So I started asking questions, meeting the brokers, meeting the industry players, and understanding how the market worked. And when I was 17, I said, I'm going to have a go at this project. And the long and short of it, from the time I was 17 to 23 years old, it's a 6-year period, of which over that time, I took time to understand the market. I partnered with the right people and the right teams, and we found the right financiers to make this project a success. And we opened doors for trading when I was 23 in 2014. And it was actually my birthday month, and I turned 24 later that month. And since then, we've managed to have securities deposits which have peaked at $10 billion, and we have transacted over $5 billion since 2014 in September. And I can say safely say that Zimbabwe, just to give you context, if you combine all the bank deposits of all the banks in Zimbabwe, they are only half of what Zimbabwe has under its deposits.
Wow. Yeah. Wow. That is, I think, a story that can motivate anyone, can get anyone, to want to whip themselves into action. But no, tell me the truth. Yeah. How do we get, for many young people, I think, lots of people, myself, we've all had great ideas, brilliant ideas that we think can change the world, that can, revolutionize the way we do business. Mm-hmm. But how do you really take something from concept to implementation? What gives you that confidence to even think that you can take it and present it and be taken seriously by the stakeholders you're chatting to at a young age like that?
You know what, Taku? If you believe you're a winner, guess what? You're right. If you believe you're a loser, guess what? You're also right. So part of it starts with believing in yourself and breaking it down into very simple and small bite-sized tasks. So if you look at this whole journey where I, participated in the stock market automation, some people think it's rocket science, but to be honest, it was not rocket science for me. I did not have any education in technology. I did not have any education in financial markets, but I took on this project and was able to deliver it by taking one step at a time and focusing and being relentlessly and being relentless and pursuing this goal. As long as it could be done, I kept on trying. So that's the simple formula. So taking something from concept to reality, it's about breaking it down into small, achievable milestones, and one small thing, achieved after the next, you add them up, it becomes a big achievement. An ordinary person can end up doing extraordinary things just by doing ordinary things daily that are systematically arranged.
So, that brings me back to that age-old adage, are champions born or are they bred? How would you say your background was like, growing up, and how did that prepare you to become the man that you are today?
Okay. So what I'll say, my parents grew up in the rural areas. They came to the city. They did the best they could under the circumstances, and they created a platform for us to flourish beyond what they've done. And I do not have any rich uncles or rich aunties, so I can say I'm self-made. I didn't start from somewhere. I have people that helped me along the way, and which was very critical to my success. But it all took the will and determination to start. You know, people who only help someone that wants to help themselves, and people who only support someone that has a vision of something that is bigger than and beyond them. And one of the things is sometimes people want to make money. Making money is not the objective. You must have a cause that's bigger than you, bigger than making money. You know, when you solve a problem, money is a natural consequence. It will come to you without you even asking for it. So that's what I'll have to say about that.
You know, just going into the more boring stuff, you know, the real nitty gritties of the nyaya, so to say.
Yeah.
You know, when I watched an interview of you some time ago, when you were saying that, you know, what you identified was that there wasn't enough information about the Zimbabwe Stock Exchange.
Yes, yes.
And since, you know, coming on of, you know, your solution to the Zimbabwe Stock Exchange,
Yeah.
how would you say that landscape has changed?
Okay, so when we set up Chengete Zai Depository Company, it was set up for the capital markets industry. Zimbabwe Stock Exchange being one of them, but it's the biggest market at the present moment. And we created the backbone and foundation for capital market automation. So what we did enable the Zimbabwe Stock Exchange to then introduce an automated trading system. And beyond the automated trading system, we have retail trading platforms like ZSE Direct and C-Trade. And these platforms are then used. You can download applications on your phone today and trade, buy and sell shares. And I'll encourage people to do that. Download C-Trade or ZSE Direct, whatever works for you better, and use them. You know, learn to trade, put in $100 or $50 or whatever you can, but do something and, you know, learn about investing.
You know, the layman,
So just to also answer the other part of your question, now you have a situation where we have a market that's fully automated, right from retail investor, which is me and you, buying shares all the way to the market where they're traded and to the back end, back office for clearing and settlement. All that is fully automated. You know, the Zimbabwe Stock Exchange gives data feeds to everyone in the world. So anywhere in the world, you can access that market data, you know, in near real time.
You know, just forgive me for being a layman, but I imagine right now that probably the biggest competition towards having everyday Zimbabweans invest in the stock exchanges and formal markets, whereby people feel that the returns will be a lot quicker. But what do you have to say about that? You know, how do you feel, you know, from an educated position?
Yeah, you see, so if I take you back to when I dropped out of high school, when I was 17 years old, and it was hyperinflation times. So if you asked anybody at that time, they were wheeling and dealing, and that's what made the money. But wheeling and dealing is not sustainable in the long run. The informal sector is not, yes, it can give you arbitrage opportunities and making quick money there, but it's seldom sustained over a long time. So when you then have these formal platforms, you can actually create a strategy around them and build on that. And I'll always encourage, you know, doing something that is a long-term sustainability, because these short-term things, you'll always be chasing your tail. You'll make lots of money and you'll spend it very quickly and you'll be looking for more. And then this opportunity closes, something opens up, you know, one day, what were those? Mangwana truita mazai, mangwana takwenda ku gold, you know, and we are not really focusing on something that is a long-term sustainability.
I like that you've led us